I think I cried before I went to school. I cried while I'm at school. Be about it. Oh my God. But what happened is that I went to the back of the school because of what the voices were telling me. They were telling me to take my life and to do this and that my life was not worth it. Tell myself I jump, me I go jump. No, I'm about to jump, because I'm contemplating to kill myself. So while I'm at the back of the school and I'm standing there and contemplating and jumping, it's like I was in between jump and don't jump. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the song, and I think by the title below you already know what we're about to discuss. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell another friend to come over here on my channel. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and also on my TikTok. So it was requested for me to do a video on my experience going to a psychiatric ward. So let's get into the details. Well, I was 18, and for those that are not new to my channel, would have already known that at 13 I already have been suffering or been diagnosed, I would say, being diagnosed with depression. And by the time I left high school, I was not on medication due to the negative side effects that I was having. So I stopped taking medication. However, my symptoms never stopped, and drastically it increased or gotten worse since I turned 18. So at this period in my life, I was hearing a lot of voices. The voices became more. My mood became worse. My everyday life was just different and more severe. I was tired of living, tired of a lot of things, tired of just existing. And at this point in time of my life, when I was at school, it was not a normal day for me. It was not a normal time for me. I was so depressed on that day, so depressed. I can't even describe how depressed I was, but I was really down and depressed at that time. I went to school, and when I reached the school, because of how bad I was feeling and out of it, I just sat in an empty classroom and was just there contemplating with all the voices going up and down in my head, thinking about a lot of things and wondering what is it that I should do. It's like I reach a period where I want help. So, and I was crying. I was very emotional on that day. I cried. I think I cried before I went to school. I cried while I'm at school. Be about it. Oh my God. But what happened is that I went to the back of the school because of what the voices were telling me. They were telling me to take my life and to do this and that my life was not worth it. My life is in vain. I will not amount to anything. Just a lot of bad things. And I left and went to the back of the school because me tell myself I jump, me I go jump. No, I'm about to jump, because I'm contemplating to kill myself. So while I'm at the back of the school and I'm standing there and contemplating and jumping, it's like I was in between jump and don't jump. And the voices are so heavy in my head, telling me all these negative things, telling me all these things that I should do, and how worthless I feel within myself, and it was just a lot. And then, the funniest thing, while I was standing there with my eyes filled with tears, I was just there standing and was like, God, what should I do? Like, they run us in the dark because it's evening class, and where I was standing, or where I went, was not fully lit. And if I was to jump, no one would find me until in the morning. So I was just standing there, but as much as I was hearing so many negativity in my mind, there was just this small voice saying, don't jump, go and look help. And the reason why I wasn't even contemplating medication again is because of the fact that I have been on it since I was 13, and because of that, it messed up me even worse. I was just standing there, but as much as I was hearing so many negativity in my mind, there was just this small voice saying, don't jump, go and look help. I didn't jump. I went back around to the school front, and I sat back in a class. I was just there crying and crying and crying. And then it's like a voice said to me, go to your teacher. And I was so scared too. I was so scared because class I go on, me not in a class. I didn't want her to be angry with me, being the fact that I should have been in class and I am not. All I know is that I was sitting in an empty classroom, contemplating, trying to control my thoughts, and all these voices running up and down in my head. So when the voice told me now to go to the teacher and talk to the teacher, I felt so scared. I saw my heart to beat because I was like, oh my God, I don't want she cuts me. How do I say something is happening to me that they can't see? How do I say that? So I was like, my heart go boom, and at the same time my mind is all over the place. As I stood there and was like, what do I say to the teacher? I was standing there looking at her, but me I wipe my tears, because me don't want to say, me don't want nobody to say me a ball. So I'm wiping my tears and all of that. But to be honest, you see, by the time me walk going in the classroom, me just tears just start run down, and me just have to hold on for the teacher. Oh my God. Me just have to hold on for the teacher and hug her up. Me just have to hold on for the teacher and hug her up. I couldn't even say nothing. And the teacher hold on for me and they say, want me to you, Krista, want me to you? And I tell her, I said, me not feel good. And I was telling her that I'm not feeling well. She carried me to the main office and they sat me down and they were like, what is happening? And I was telling them that I have depression and XYZ, and no, I'm not feeling well. I'm hearing a lot of voices, and they were like, oh my. I explained to them, and they were shocked that I was going through that experience, and they were asking me who can I call and all of that, and I let them know who to call. And when I made the phone call, I just told my auntie that I am not feeling well. She just told me to meet her at the hospital. But when they were there questioning me, in my mind, I'm looking at the scissors, I'm looking at sharp objects, and in my mind, I'm contemplating to take it up and hurt them. But glory be to God, I have never allowed whatever my mind is thinking to do. And mind you, this was already in the night. I think it was 2:10 I reached up to hospital because the evening classes starts at, was it 6:30? Yeah, 6:30 or 7 o'clock. I don't 100% remember. So it's either between 6:30 or 7 o'clock class start. And by the time I reached up, they drive me to the hospital. And I sat there and was waiting on my auntie to come. And when it was my time, they evaluated me and they were saying to me that there is no psychologist on duty, no. So they asked me if I wanted to stay or I wanted to go home. But based on how I was feeling, honestly, I told him I want to stay. I want to stay. Let me stay right now. Right now, I shall stay. So I chose that. Without a shadow of a doubt, I know that I needed help. And I know, and one of the reasons why I told him I wanted to stay is because I did not see myself living past that day. So I told him that I wanted to stay. Okay, so when they took me up there, they took away my bag because I was, they took away my bag, they took away my belt, they took away my shoelace. They took away my bag, my shoelace, my belt. And they took away those stuff because they're saying that they don't want you to use it to harm yourself. So no problem. And my auntie left. Up there was cold. Oh my God. Up there was cold. But to be honest, the staff was good. The nurses up there were nice. It was at the time when the hospital was up and running, so it was okay. And it was at that time that I was re-evaluated and was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So I went from depression to schizophrenia because I was re-evaluated by doctors and nurses. And when my diagnosis changed, I was like, I let them know that my symptoms weren't different from when I was diagnosed with depression, but they said that because I was young, they could not diagnose me with schizophrenia. So yeah, and then I became more concerned about what schizophrenia is. At one point I couldn't call the name. I couldn't even remember the name, and the doctor told my auntie that I couldn't come off medication, and she was scared to tell me and all of that. But and it was not bad at all. The nurses were nice, the doctors were nice. I even made friends. I even made friends up there. There were persons there in worse condition than some that were functionable and some that was just out of it. So everybody's stages was just different, and it was an experience for me that I don't regret it, because I was the one that chose to be there and to stay there, because I know that I needed help. And the nurses were nice, the doctors were nice. One thing though, up there cold. Oh my God. Oftentimes me and my friend would have conversation, the persons that I'm placed in the room, because I think it was 2 of us in the room, or if not, it's 3. I don't remember if it was 2 persons per room or 3. More likely, I think it's 2 persons per room. Yes, it was 2 persons. So I was placed in a room with someone else, and me and that person became the best of friends, the bestest of friends. And being up there made me learn and understand that there is so much that can break us. There is so much that we can be going through that only God alone knows. I learned so much about other people's experience, why they're there, and met some good people, some nice persons. I think like the worst experience of going to the psychiatric ward was that I had to stop going to school, because with starting back medication, I was not able to function. I had to stop, and it broke my heart deeply. It broke me. I was stressed out about it. I was so sad. I was stressed out. The evening classes that I was going, that I was setting my mind on and setting my goal, and I could not manage to go. And the teacher was saying to me that it is okay, I can go back to school another time. I didn't want another time. I wanted to go now. I wanted to do it right now, and it broke my heart. It stressed me out, and this is, it stressed me out. Stressed me right out. Stresses. I was sad that I had to stop going to school because I was not well. And being on the medication did not make me as functionable as I wanted to be. And the thing about it, I never went back to school. I started working. And left that job and then started working again, and all of that. And each opportunity that I got to have gone back to school, my being diseased and mentally hindered that up until I came off and everything structured back, or if it's structured mentally, and I was able to do it all over again, just a different course, etc. But the Lord is good, and that is my experience. That is my experience. And what it was like on the psychiatric ward, it was not bad. It was my choice. It was never a bad experience. I was not bolted down. I could freely walk up and down, go in every room and fast. I was very obedient. I didn't give any trouble. It was good that I met some persons on there, because those are amazing persons. When they can sit and tell you their story and it really reflects it, why my situation bad, but why? Yeah. So if you have made it this far in the video, please to like, share, comment, and also to subscribe if you have not done so. Please turn on your notification bell so you get notified each time I post a video. And per usual, before we go, can't let go God, remember that. So I'm going to leave a scripture for us to meditate on. Isaiah 41 verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness.